Good evening. New South Wales' devastating bushfires have turned deadly, a man dying trying to protect his home. Tonight, the fierce firefight continues, but hundreds of people are returning home to find their houses destroyed.
Negative right.
Amid the chaos and the courage,
Look, there's nothing anybody can do. It's gone.
Just looks like a war zone.
a life was lost. Walter Linder died defending his home at Lake Manoora near Wyong on the New South Wales Central Coast. His heart gave up as he raced to dodge spot fires creeping closer to the property.
He lay his life on the line for anybody. He was just wonderful.
His beloved dog Rex left without his master. At the peak, 100 fires burned the length of New South Wales coastline. Dozens are still out of control. The smoke blanketing the state visible from NASA satellites. West of Sydney in Winmalee, the Blue Mountains turned black. Flames continued to consume the landscape. Cattle taking refuge where they could. Street after street with homes lost. Hundreds across the fire zone.
All your belongings and everything that you've worked so hard for so long, it's just gone in an instant.
While in neighbouring Springwood, families learned what they wore was all they had.
40 odd years of life, photos.
All her stuff, her school stuff, her photos as a baby. Just everything.
We last saw Adam Schweinsberg last night when a cameraman begged him not to risk returning to his house.
It's time to go. Forget it, bro. It's time to leave.
I was just panicking, you know, it was a silly thing to do.
Fortunately, Adam took the advice and only went back to his home, or what was left of it, today.
My family's all okay and we're all fine, so I'm not too worried about the house. You know, just rebuild them up again.
The fires have been raging more than 24 hours. In the night sky, darkest fears lit up.
Where's my son? Where's my son?
We've lost the house, lost the pets, so it's been a bit of a bad day.
The demands on exhausted volunteers were relentless. 2 were injured. As the New South Wales Premier was briefed on the latest, it became clear the fight is taking its toll on all involved.
We've got the best firefighters in the world. They are second to none.
Shane Fitzsimmons lost his father and 3 colleagues during a hazard reduction burn 13 years ago.
We can only be proud of what's unravelled in the last 24 hours.
And you're doing something very, very important too for the community, so well done.
The Prime Minister thanked volunteer firefighters as he visited the Blue Mountains.
We grieve for everyone impacted by these fires, and we thank and congratulate everyone who is working to keep the state of New South Wales safe.
Fire chiefs could offer only one certainty, and it's not a good one, with temperatures set to rise again on Sunday.
I can absolutely guarantee you that those fires will not be out by the time the return to bad weather comes.
They've been to hell and they're going back. Brett McLeod, 9 News.
Simon Boda joins us now live from Winmalee in the Blue Mountains. And Simon, so much devastation. How are these people ever going to get back to normal?
Kate, that's the massive question. We've been spending the day with so many families who've been returning to their homes at Yellow Rock, at Winmalee, at Springwood, and they're finding nothing. Literally, they're finding a few trinkets in the ashes. People have come back, they've lost pets, they've lost their lives, they've lost memories. How can you come back from something like that? Obviously, they can rebuild their homes and they can restock their homes, but they can't bring back those valuable things that they've lost. Photos, kids' photos, they'll never have those. They're gone. If you look at a house like this belonged to a man who'd retired, put his whole superannuation into paying off the mortgage, moved in here, and now his home's gone. He's probably insured, but what about what was inside it? That's going to be the big thing for people to face, and that's going to be a battle that they're all going to have to face over the coming months.
Well, they're definitely a resilient sort. Thank you very much, Simon. And dozens of South Australian firefighters and support staff are heading to New South Wales to assist local crews in the bushfire emergency. Live now to Brenton Raglis at Adelaide Airport. And Brenton, it sounds like they're going to need all the help they can get.
Oh, indeed, Kate, that's an understatement. You know, I mean, the word amongst firefighters is that these are the worst fires in New South Wales since the 1994 devastating fires, when South Australia first began deploying crews over that way. This morning, we had the a passionate call for help, and the state has answered with more than 50 firefighters and support staff. But as the CFS says, we're prepared and we're ready.
The hierarchy, the firefighters, the community are deeply impacted by what's going on in New South Wales at the moment.
We train hard for what we do, so I think when it all comes down to it, we'll all do really well.
Now, you may have noticed there's a bit of smoke this afternoon up through the Adelaide Hills, and that's been a prescribed burn, taking place there at Mount Lofty. This is a narrow window in which these prescribed burns take place. It's nothing to worry about, and it's part of their fuel reduction program. Expect to see more smoke on these non-risk days over the coming few weeks and months in the lead up to summer. For the weekend, though, it's going to be a warm day, and I'll have the latest on the forecast coming up soon.